What is up, guys? James here from the Light of Riga YouTube channel, and in this video we're going to be doing a reading for all my Aquarius Sun sign friends. If you're born between the dates of January 20th and February 18th, then you are an Aquarius Sun sign, and this video is for you. In this reading, we're going to be taking a look at the month ahead for the month of December for all Aquarians, and this spread is designed to tell you what past, present, and future energies are surrounding you, what to hold on to and what to let go of in the month of December, and what obstacles and lessons are going to be on your path this upcoming month. Basically, it's going to give you everything you need to know to make December the best month possible. I'd like to introduce you to my crystal friends, right? I've got my Solite sphere here, which I keep with me for every reading, so most of you are familiar with this, my good pal. I also wanted to bring some energy and vitality to this reading, so I brought two very energetic crystals. First one is the natural citrine point from Africa, and we all know about the energy infusing natures of citrine. And I also brought a Heliodor, which comes from the beryl family. It's one of the lesser known beryls, I guess, and this crystal is just vibrates at the resonance of the sun. So we're gonna have a happy, uplifting reading today. That is my hope, that is my goal. We're going to be using the Llewellyn Tarot today, and this has recently become fully customized. I trimmed the borders, but I also edged the borders, so now we've got a nice little, right? It's customized, it's ready to go. So, if you would, please give me a moment to center myself and ask the tarot cards the question. What are the energies surrounding Aquarius sun signs in the month of December? Alright, that ought to do it. We will cut the deck. And we're going to deal out 8 cards. Okie dokie, and while we're at it, we're going to consult the Psychic Tarot of the Heart, talking about edge decks, and we're going to ask it what message it has for Aquarius sun signs in the month of December. What message for Aquarius sun signs in the month of December? And we're going to take a look at this card at the end of the reading. Alright, first thing I have to notice is we got 3 major arcana cards in the positions of last month, now, and next month. So it seems like that Aquarian friends, there's a lot going on in your lives right now, and we'll dive into it. What we'll do is we will look at these cards individually and then go back and see what they have to say as a whole. So let's get into it here. This first card represents the energies of last month. So the energies of November, we've got the Hanged Man. Alright, Aquarian friends, it seems like November was a time of waiting. It was a time of... you know, it's hard to say, since this is a reading for a large group of people, and all of you are different, and this kind of energy manifested in probably many different ways. So definitely realize that this card is capable of saying many different things, but the overall general feeling I get is that November was a time for a lot of you to be kind of on the sidelines, just really kind of unsure of which way to go. And you know, oftentimes we're, you know, in society we're taught that, you know, idle hands, I don't know what this expression is, I forget the expression, but we're taught to be always moving, always working. That's how to progress, right? The more you work, the more you progress. But the reality of the situation is that from time to time we need to take a break. We need to evaluate and reassess and spend some time thinking about where we've been, where we're going, and where we are at. And I think this is what November was for a lot of you. It was a time for you to reassess, time for you to think things over. It wasn't a time to go get everything done. It was more of a time to think about things, think about how you're doing things, think about maybe how to improve the way you're doing things, and basically a time just to wait and see almost. A time for patience, a time for waiting is the sense I'm getting from this card at this time. So let's move on over here. This card represents the current present energies surrounding Aquarians at this time, and we've got the Empress. Alright, so now there's been a shift, and now I think we're moving towards a period of maybe gratitude or acceptance. You know, when I see this card, I think of bounty. I think of just abundance and having everything that you need. This is the card of, you know, if we were to pick a card that represents motherly energy, this would be the one. So I think that maybe your attitude has shifted from a period of waiting to now at this time. A lot of you are feeling very abundant and you're feeling very happy. Like possibilities are endless. Like you're supported by the universe, you're supported by your friends and family, and a very positive card at this time for Aquarius sun sign. So I do think that now things are looking good for you guys, but of course this is a phase, and like all phases, it's in the state of shifting. So let's go over here. This card represents the energies of next month, so the energies of December, and we've got the Hermit. And it's almost as if we're sort of making a return back to the Hanged Man phase, only this time with more concerted efforts on the self. And what I mean by that is it seems like December for a lot of you is going to be a time for introspection. It's going to be a time to kind of quarantine yourself from the world. Not literally. You're not going to go into a cave like this hermit is planning on doing, but more like withdrawing into the self a little bit more than usual, and trying to work things out internally rather than being worrying so much about the external world. And man, this is, you know, when we go through these hermit phases, you know, it seems like a lonely time, it seems like a dark time, but that couldn't be further from the truth. These hermit phases where we really discover the self are opportunities for us to grow, to expand, to learn more about ourselves, and in doing so, in turning inward, we learn more about the exterior world. We learn more about reality by going inside, because in order to connect to source, in order to connect to this universe, our connection is from within. Our connection is inside of us, and that is the way to learn about the exterior world. So this is going to be a beneficial time for a lot of you, and like I said, it may seem lonely, but don't look at it that way. Look at it as a chance to grow and expand. Okay, let's go over here. This card represents what to hold on to in the month of December for Aquarians, and we have the Four of Pentacles. Okay, this card is saying, well, yes, it's great to go inward. It's great to explore the inner realms and thereby explore the outer realms. And I mean the outer realms. That's great and it's beneficial. But this card is suggesting that you don't forget the physical world. Okay, don't lose track of reality, the earth reality, because it's so easy to do when you start exploring the inner self. You start to forget about, you know, jobs aren't as important, money isn't as important, and you know, climbing the corporate ladder doesn't seem so interesting. You know what I mean? But this card is saying don't forget that you do need to live, you do need to survive, and you've worked very hard to get to this point, and to acquire the things that you've acquired, but there needs to be some attention paid to it. The tendency or the desire to just go full in to the self, you know, might get you fired, right? You can't tell your boss I'm 2 hours late because I was meditating, getting zen as possible. Okay, that doesn't fly in the real world. So do remain grounded, and you know, save your money, and realize that you do have to live in this world. Even if you don't feel like doing it at this time, you still do have to live in this world. So do remember that money is somewhat of a necessity. Okay. This card here represents the biggest hurdle, the biggest obstacle that's likely to be in your way in the month of December. And we've got the Ace of Wands. I think starting a new project or starting a new venture, starting something new is going to be tough in December. Like I said, you're going to be very introspective. You're going to be learning about the self. You're going to be asking those tough shadow type questions, learning about the shadow self. And when you do that, when you really go into that energy, it's very difficult, like I said, to keep your feet planted on earth. Excuse me. It's very difficult to keep your feet planted on earth, and maybe, trying to put energy into things this month is going to be an issue. For whatever reason, you might feel blasé, you might feel apathetic, or you might feel just so enthusiastic with exploring the self that, starting a new project or putting energy into old projects, it's going to be difficult. It's going to be tough, and I think that's going to be your main issue. But like I said, the best way around this is to try to stay grounded as much as possible. Do grounded type things like walking in nature, like eating healthy foods, like meditating regularly. All these things will help keep you grounded, working with crystals, and I think that'll help you to stay away from going too far into the introspective phase. I think that'll help. So okay, that's going to be your biggest challenge. This card here represents what to let go of in the month of December. We've got the Three of Cups. Right. The feeling I'm getting from this card is that whether you like it or not, I think spending a lot of time with friends, even family, is going to kind of go against your goals for this month. At least the universe's goals. The universe's goals for you this month is for you to go inside, get introspective, learn about the self, work on the shadow. If you're spending a lot of time with friends, you can't do that. You're going to be distracted. They're not going to be on the same wavelength, and it's very hard to learn about the self when you're got gossip going on and people making jokes and doing activities. Right? That's not conducive to shadow work. To do shadow work, to learn about the self, you have to be alone. You have to go deep into the self, and you can't take friends with you when you do it. Okay, so that is what this card is kind of warning you against, is maybe try to spend a little bit less time with friends this month, just so that you have more time to spend on the self, more time for your shadow work, and it will benefit you. You might feel alone, you might feel that loneliness start to creep in, but if you make that connection with your higher self, you'll realize that you are never alone. Ever, 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 ever alone. You're always supported. You've always got backup. And just because they're not physical humans doesn't mean that they don't have your back 100%. Alright, this card here represents the energy of the people around you as a whole in the month of December. And we've got the Five of Swords. And just like I was saying, the people in your life are going to be on a different wavelength, I think, and it's going to cause some issues. The Five of Swords is about ego battles. It's about arguing. It's about fighting and discussing things, not in a nice way. And, whenever we have these ego battles, there's no winners. We're all losers. Even if you win, you lose. Even if you lose, you lose. So, if you feel this occurring, if you feel arguments springing up with your friends and family, coworkers, this represents everybody in your life. And yes, individuals in your life won't be argumentative. They won't grate against you. But as a whole, the people in your life are likely in the month of December to just be argumentative. And you don't need that, right? You're working on the self. You don't need their negative energy piled on top of the negative energy you're already trying to work through. So definitely, I'm sorry to say, Aquarius friends, that this might feel like a kind of a lonely month. Possibly, but like I said, you're never alone. This is only a phase. You'll get out of it, and you're going to come out the back end of this month so good. You're going to be great. You're going to feel like a new person, I think. So let's look at this last card, which represents the biggest lesson you're likely to learn in the month of December. And we have the Two of Pentacles. This goes hand in hand with that Four of Pentacles earlier. The Two Pentacles here are kind of representing the same thing. And I think the biggest lesson you're likely to learn this month is that you still gotta juggle your Earth life. Okay? Your Earth life is very demanding. And what I mean by Earth life is, the demands that have been placed upon us by our employers, by our family, bills that we gotta pay, that sort of thing. And yes, it's a juggle. But I think what we're going to learn this month is that it is possible to juggle a spiritual life and an earth life. And actually the goal of a spiritual life is to incorporate as much of that spirituality into your third dimensional life as you possibly can. Bring that higher energy from the higher realms down into earth and merge those two things. That's what you're here for. You're here to help this planet ascend. You're here to help your fellow humans ascend, and the way to do that is to bring in that higher energy. And you can't go off into one direction or the other. If you go off into the earth life, you're gonna miss out on all the spiritual awakenings and understandings that are there for you. If you go off into the spiritual life and you neglect the earth life, you're gonna learn all these spiritual understandings, but you're not gonna be able to incorporate them into your regular life, and they're just gonna go wasted and no one's gonna benefit from it. So it is a balance. It is a juggling act, and that's something you're gonna have to learn this month. You're gonna have to learn how to juggle between your spiritual life and your earth life. And when you get good at it, then oh baby, then the crowds start forming, right? And then you can start asking. You can pass the hat around, and you can take your juggling act on the road. But this month is going to be about learning about the self a little bit more and diving into spirituality. Very spiritual month for you guys. And I do feel as though you're coming off a month where you weren't very sure of what to do, but you are feeling blessed right now, and that's going to lead you to look inwards. To once a lot of you are showing gratitude right now and showing appreciation for all the things that you have, and that gratitude and appreciation will allow you to discover more spiritual understandings, because you're now vibrating at a higher frequency, the frequency of understanding, of connecting with spirit. So the gratitude that you're showing now is going to pay off in December, and it's going to lead to some new spiritual awakenings. But it might feel like a lonely time, because you're going to have to spend less time with friends and families and coworkers, because they're just going to be on a whole different wavelength, and you just can't deal with it, right? If they're on a different wavelength, you're butting heads. There's going to be arguments, and it's not going to work out for anybody. But be sure that you are staying a little bit focused on the earth realm, paying your bills, saving money, making money as much as you can in the month of December while still being spiritual. Don't lose your job is basically what I'm saying, okay? And it's going to be hard to put in energy towards things. I feel like, when we get deep into these spiritual periods, it's hard to put in energy into the real world, but you'll get through it. You'll find a way. Just stay grounded, and I think that's going to help a lot, staying grounded. And like I said, meditating, going through nature, eating healthy foods, all ways to stay grounded. Grounding crystals, tourmaline, black tourmaline, obsidian, numite, all the black ones are going to be great. Yeah, all right. And the lesson that you're going to learn is that you got to balance it out. You got to find a medium, and when you do, things are going to take off for you. And a medium between spirituality and earth living. And when you do, whoo, boy, it's going to be great. All right, before we go, we asked the psychic, what is it called? The Psychic Tarot of the Heart, what message it had for Aquarius sun signs in the month of December. And that message is, seek the truth. Aha! Right? Seek the truth. This is a month for truth seeking, Aquarius friends. This is a month for going inward. And like I said, to figure the truth out, to learn about reality, you have to go inward. And you're going to have an opportunity this month to go inward. But remember that your ultimate goal should be truth. Universal truth. I want to know the truth. Set that intention. The truth about myself, the truth about human nature, the truth about earth, the truth about reality, the truth about the higher realms. I want to know the truth. If you become a truth seeker this month, you put the time and the effort and the work in to find that truth, and those truths will be revealed to you this month. This is a month for the revelations of truths to Aquarius. So definitely, guys, it's that hermit time. I don't know what's going to happen next month. We'll do another reading. But as for this month, it's time to go inward. It's time to understand more. This is a time for spiritual advancement. And I'm jealous. I'm a little jealous. But, we're all working on our own things at different times. And it's all cyclical. So that is the reading for Aquarius. I hope you guys got something out of it. Remember, it's a general overall reading, and not everything applies to everyone. But if you want a specific reading tailored just for you, then head on over to my Etsy shop. The link is in the description box below. Just click on that. It'll send you over there. You can check out the different readings that I use to work with you to bring healing and clarity to your life. So I'd appreciate it if you go check that out. Etsy. If you like this video, please consider hitting that like button. It lets me know that you enjoyed it and got something out of it, that I should continue to do this. So I'd appreciate you doing that. I really would. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, put those in the comment section below. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say about these readings. I really do. And if you really enjoyed this video, then please consider hitting that subscribe button to stay up to date on all the videos I release, these bi-monthly tarot scopes, as well as weekly readings and deck reviews and spreads, all sorts of things. You don't want to miss out on it. Hit that subscribe button. Alright, Aquarius friends, it's about finding balance between the spiritual world and the earth realms, but the focus this month in December, guys, is seek that truth and you will find it. Go inwards and happy journeying. Alright, have a great month, Aquarius friends. Leave a like if you enjoyed this. Happy taroting. Peace.